You can help support and promote the show by purchasing our merchandise at cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At, where you can choose from a variety of different items like hoodies, hats, and bears. Oh my! Put a Packard Pokes At mug in your hands today.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic, and joining me tonight from the far, far East Coast is Joe Unseen.
Hello, hello, hello.
And joining us from the far West Coast is Connie, Practical Magic 9.
Hot fun in the summertime.
It is summertime. It is summertime, and it's going to get a lot hotter in here. Speaking of hot, the hottest lady on the internet, on YouTube, other than myself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Is Robin Dupree Reed from Florida.
You can't see me, but I'm blushing right now. I need a fan. Why, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, Robin. Very welcome. Anyway, we have our Let's Talk segment tonight, and we have a very interesting story we're going to be talking about. Now, if you've ever gone out to eat and you see somebody praying and you're an atheist, you automatically get up and you say, "Hey, stop doing that." Said nobody, ever. And that's pretty much tonight's topic is who is really doing the persecuting here? Because we have a lot of Christians out there who seem to think that because we're atheists, we are automatically persecuting them. They are 75 to 80% of the population in the United States. And they seem to think that they have it in their brains that they are the ones who are being attacked and persecuted for believing. No. They did this story, well, it's not even a story. They did this simulation on ABC.
I was going to say you should do a little background on that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. They did this little simulation, quote unquote, on ABC recently, where they had this poor persecuted family coming in after church. And they start praying over their meal. You have a little boy, a little girl, the perfect family. And they're sitting there praying. And this ugly atheist lady, she's going, "Hey, can you guys not, shove your religion down my throat?" Which I have never seen that. I am not going to say that it never happens. Is it possible? It could happen. People are all kinds of crazy in both sides of the camp sometimes. Is it possible? Maybe. Will it most likely happen? Most likely not. Now, we're going to try something completely different tonight on the show. We're going to actually show a small clip from the video. And
I'm going to have to mute my mic because I'm going to vomit.
Yeah, we're going to show a little bit of the video right now, and then we're going to discuss what's going on here.
Interrupts.
Hey, come on, guys. Can you save the praying for church, please? You're making me really uncomfortable.
The look on Sandy Broach's face says it all.
Excuse me?
I don't believe what you believe, and you shouldn't be forcing your ideas on us.
At first, she uses a church whisper.
So could you please stop?
Then she makes a proclamation.
Maybe you shouldn't be here to sleep.
And finally...
Okay, I'm going to stop the video for the moment here. This woman, she says that maybe you shouldn't be here. Okay, this is stupid. She has every right to be here just as much as the Christians do, even though that they're praying, and even though she has said her objections, she has every right to say an objection. Just because you believe doesn't give you special privileges not to be objected to. Anybody have a comment on this also?
Well, that's not even the point, though.
Right.
I mean, that's not at all the point. I've worked in restaurants for almost my entire adult life.
Right.
And I've eaten in restaurants for probably my entire life. I have never, ever seen anything like that, ever. It is so unrealistic. And the fact that, like you said, you've got this really kind of beautiful little family eating
Mm-hmm.
and praying, which they have their right to pray over their food.
Yes.
And then you have this miserable bitch portraying the atheist.
Right.
Right there, that part right there really pissed me off. Number one, she's all alone in the restaurant. She's eating at a restaurant all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's slightly unkempt, and she's a fucking bitch.
Yes.
That's what really pissed me off. That's what they would call the stereotypical atheist.
Yeah. Making us.
And it's so unrealistic.
No,
I wanted to puke.
Yeah, I agree. I saw this and I'm glad I don't. I'm not a violent person, but I wanted to punch my computer screen. I was like, I need that stove. I was like, ugh.
And there's been people who say, well, it gets people talking. It's not terrible that they made this show. It gets people talking. It gets people talking. But the Christians that were in that restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
the way they were acting, that they weren't willing to talk. Maybe that couple at the very end of it.
Yeah.
But they weren't willing to talk about it. They wanted her to shut up, and that was it.
Yeah. That's my point here, is that they think that they get special privileges, that no one else can say anything bad about their religion. And that's not true. That's absolutely not true. Religion
Freedom of speech works both ways.
Exactly. Religion is just an idea, and ideas, if they're a bad idea, they need to be discussed or dismissed. Connie and Joe, please chime in.
Well, it's been said that if they got a prayer rugs and faced Mecca, would there be
exactly?
That's a whole nother story there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
ABC should do that next.
Yeah.
Well, they even asked she even asked one of the couples, the chick playing the atheist, even asked one of the couples, what if they were Muslim? And the guy said, well, they could pray too. Bullshit.
I'm with you, Rob, on that. It's like,
liar.
No, that's right.
People would have been so mad if there was people kneeling on the ground bowing to Mecca.
Right. I'm wondering if they had taken an atheist. Okay, let's just keep this in the realm of the atheist, since they're attacking us anyway. If they had, let's say, put a Muslim family there or a pagan family, not that the atheist would bother them either, but if the atheist said, "Hey, I would like you to take your prayers back to Mecca or whatever," do you think these Christians that were in there, do you think they would say they'd agree with this person, or do you think they would say, "Hey, stand up for the Muslim family," or even the pagan family, for that matter?
I think, for myself, I think that the Christians in that restaurant, if there had been a person of another faith praying, they would have gotten up and very, very, huffy about it, but told the manager of the restaurant that they didn't appreciate that, and they would not bring their business back there anymore if they allowed people like that to do that.
Right.
But they probably would not have confronted the other people. I don't think. I don't know. I mean, just thinking about the kind of people that I know.
I think they'd have been too afraid to confront the Muslims.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. They would have been too afraid to confront the Muslims. You're right. They would have went to the manager about it.
Yeah.
Subterfuge.
And they would have probably said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had, and there was an atheist in the restaurant, the atheist would have stood up and defended the Muslim family.
Oh yeah.
I think we need to keep in mind that these are all paid actors. This isn't an actual situation.
No, I understand that, but the reaction of the other people, which is the only thing only thing that this show was about, was to get reaction from other people. Okay, those people, if the tables were turned a little bit differently, and the scenario was different, it would have been a totally different show. I mean, they would
I completely
not
agree with you on that. I mean,
they wouldn't have defended a Muslim family.
Yeah, I don't think they would have defended a Muslim family either.
I've gotten into countless discussions with Christians about prayer in school, and they're like, well, at least the kids are praying to a God. It doesn't matter. Like, they should pray to God. And I was like, okay, do you support the teachers handing out prayer rugs and having them face east and pray to Allah? Oh, no, absolutely not. And
there has been uproars. Now, when you're teaching children about another culture, you're teaching children about not Muslims, but the Middle Eastern culture, you have to teach them about Islam.
Exactly,
because that is their culture. Their culture is Islam.
Yeah.
So that's been taught in schools, and parents have gone fucking crazy because their daughters were evidently forced to wear burqas in school, and they were forced to read the Quran or whatever. But that's a part of their curriculum.
Yeah.
And learning about different cultures, and they had a shit fit about that.
They don't understand that that's where religion belongs, is in like a social study kind of a place. It's not, it's back to the TV show. I have watched other episodes of this, and usually they flip the script.
Yeah.
There was no flipping of the script. They didn't bring in another faith. They didn't even possibly bring in an atheist with a family and then have the Christians be obnoxiously loud.
Yeah, or
there was nothing to balance it.
Yeah, or I was gonna actually take that route as well here, Connie. Or as you were saying, I have an atheist family there. Have a Christian come in preaching their Bible or whatever, or even say, "Hey, you people over there, you need to pray before you eat." And the atheists say, well, we don't pray or nothing because we're atheists. I'm wondering how that would reaction. Would they say, and they'd probably be agreeing with the pastor say, oh, yeah, they'd be going, amen, yeah, oh, amen, yeah, you need to, you definitely need to pray, They didn't do that. They definitely did not do that. And I do want to go back to the video here just for a moment.
Offers an apology.
I'm sorry that y'all had to witness this here.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm just in shock.
Sandy's shocked. But what about her husband, Piers? So far, he's remained silent.
Why should you be allowed to force your religion down my throat when I'm just trying to sit and eat my lunch?
But then, his temper runneth over.
I'll tell you what, why don't all of us be quiet and enjoy this meal? We're quiet, and you be quiet. Please. Thank you.
I just don't see how I'm wrong.
Look, you're going to mess with the wrong person.
Okay, I have to pause it right here. I apologize for the audio. This is the first time I've ever attempted to do something like this, so the audio is going to be a little shaky.
This is the most of this video I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like, you be quiet.
I can't even watch this.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like this guy's like, I'll be quiet, you be quiet, and it's like, you're going to mess with the wrong person. I think I think that right there, that says a lot right there.
What does that mean? He's going to get up and beat her ass?
I'm wondering if that's what what
the fuck does that mean?
He's intimidating her, isn't he?
Yes.
He's just
exactly.
But the only people who don't have to be quiet are the ones praying. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I'm faulting any of the people, the public reaction people in this situation, because it's an unrealistic situation. It's a situation that would never actually happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of being tricked. They're being duped. They're being put into this situation that is so unrealistic, and so they're reacting in these ways, and it's like, is that really their fault?
That's
you know what I mean?
point.
Like, because clearly this is like some TV producer that had an axe to grind, who was just like, like, I know, let's create this situation where atheists are going after people who are exercising their free religion and just being obnoxious about it, because atheists don't do that. They go after separation of church and state issues.
Right.
Having the town council pray before a town council meeting, or having a school lead a prayer before a graduation, that's a violation of church-state separation.
Yes.
That's what atheists go after, because the government shouldn't be in the business of telling people what religion to believe in.
Right.
They don't go around in restaurants demanding people stop practicing their religions.
Right. If you're in your restaurant and you're praying to Juju Sky Monster or whatever, you're just like, hey, fucking, I don't care as long as you don't bring it over to my table. If you want to, you want to sit there and go, Holy Akbar, la 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 la, and then sit down and eat, or praise Spaghetti Monster, or oh God in the sky, bless the food that Jose in the kitchen made. It doesn't matter. I really don't give a two flying fucks. As long as it's like, okay, that's entertaining. I think of it as a floor show.
Right. And, like Robin, I've spent a lot of time in restaurants myself, and I mean, maybe I just didn't notice it, but I've never seen anyone praying over a meal in a restaurant. Then again, I'm up in like, whatever, New York or whatever, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I've seen that a lot.
Right. One time I was walking around in Boston.
I've never seen anybody react to it.
One time I was walking around in Boston, and this guy, he was kind of disheveled, and he had a rug in his hand. It looked like a Muslim prayer rug.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of like having like an anxiety attack, and he was like spinning in circles, and he turns to me, and he's like, "Which way is east?" And I was like, "Oh, it's time for prayer. He wants to face east." And I happen to know where I was and which way east was.
Mm-hmm.
So I helped him out. I was like, "Hey man, like that's that way over there, that's the way the sun rises. That's east."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, thank you." And I went around the corner with some friends, and when we came back, he was on his rug kneeling and doing his thing. I was like, "Oh, cool." Like, so I didn't like be like, "Yo, get your fucking religion out of my face." It's like, "Oh, you need some help? That way's east." It's not a big deal to be nice to people.
Right. I was. Oh, go ahead, Connie. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the entire setup is a straw man.
It is.
Both the atheists and actually the Christian family. I was just going to say briefly, we prayed when my kids were little. My youngest. We would pray in the restaurant, but it was quietly. It was just, we'd bend our heads over the table, and when, really nobody could hear us except maybe somebody right next to us. And it was, really quick, and it was over with. But, yeah,
I'm glad I never saw you doing that, because I'd have something to say.
Joe's point about I think that people were incited to react because maybe what that guy was saying is actually what he thought. He just wanted everybody to be quiet and enjoy the meal. He may or may not have even been. Did he pray over his meal out loud? Probably
right, exactly.
Not. A lot of Christians just want to be left alone. They're like, if you want to pray, could you go somewhere else and do it?
Yeah, I would never say that. I would never say that either. I mean, I was like, I couldn't believe it. But the guy's like, you were going to mess with the wrong person. I was like, I took that as a threat.
It was very threatening.
It is very threatening. Yeah. I mean, it's like him saying is like, okay, they get to do what they want to do, but because you have freedom of speech, you don't get freedom of speech because Christians rule, you drool, fuck you.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to quote something. I had this conversation with a theist over my Whisper one day, and he ended up blocking me because I told him something he didn't like to hear. I told him, I said, your Bible says you're not supposed to be praying in public. Anyway, because I made a little joke on there. I said, it's like, it says in your Bible, it says you should be praying in public. He goes, it doesn't say that in there. I said, yeah, it does, Matthew 6:6. And it says, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees that is what is done in secret will reward you.
I am their Father.
Yeah. And he's like, well, he's trying to. It's like, are you either you do this or you're calling Jesus a liar? And he's like, well, God likes what I do no matter what. It's like, well, apparently you don't because you're completely just ignoring your Jesus there. I'm just saying.
See, there's somebody who probably thinks what if he actually said that, he said, Jesus likes whatever I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's somebody that could be quite possibly dangerous.
Yeah.
So he could go out and rob a bank and murder somebody or rape somebody.
Yeah.
And Jesus will be okay with it because after he'll say, I'm sorry, and he'll still get the big reward at the end.
Yeah. Just to let everybody know that this is a live call-in. You can call in on uberconference.com/Packard Pokes At. Just have your microphone ready. Or you can call 857-216-3200. Use PIN number 35368, and you can get in your voice in on the show as well. We have just a little bit more of this clip, and then we're going to talk about the real persecution, what's actually going on here.
You be quiet. I'll be quiet. They'll be quiet. Please.
Okay.
I'm John Quinones.
Wow.
Hey.
Of all people.
My gosh. I mean, I was at Mass this morning, and...
Let's get our tissues
out. Everybody get your tissue out.
You were upset, sir.
I thought that this thing was escalating to the point...
Escalating?
Ruin the meal for everybody in this room.
And people who don't agree with prayer, what should they do?
If they don't agree with it, just keep quiet.
Okay,
just bow your head and do it.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
Yeah. Just keep quiet. That's all the video I'm going to show because the audio is getting really crappy. But it's like you guys.
What if people who disagreed with racism were quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep quiet. You just like none of you just guys. If you don't like prayer, just fuck off.
Get back in your closet, atheists.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. In that situation, in a situation where someone's praying in a restaurant over their food, then you should be quiet. Like you shouldn't disturb them. They're minding their own business. You mind your own business.
Right.
However, if it's in front of a town council meeting, then you have legitimate gripe there. Or if your kid comes home from school and says, the English teacher led us in the Lord's Prayer today, then you have legitimate gripe there.
Yeah. And as I couldn't believe, she's like, I just came from Mass. They're persecuting us.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. Well, she didn't quite say that. She's like, we just came from Mass. I was like, I couldn't believe it. The way so mean.
Well, she did say, I just came from Mass, and she just started to cry. If you watch the video, you can see she just started to cry.
Yeah.
So, boo-hoo.
Boo fucking who. Oh, my God.
When I'm working in the restaurant on Sunday, there's a lot of praying going on. Okay, the restaurant I work at, on Sunday, I do breakfast and lunch. So
but not on Friday and Saturday night.
Everybody prays. I mean, just about every table you walk up to, they're praying.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not uncommon. And when I walk up to the table, like bringing their food,
you throw it in their face because they're praying, right?
If they're praying, I actually stand there and wait till they're done.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's professional and that's courteous.
Right,
that's,
and then you
one
take
human to another.
Right, and then you take the pie and you smack it in their face, right?
Well, and under my breath, I'm saying, hurry the fuck up. This is heavy!
I bless all their food in the name of Satan.
Yeah, there you go.
That way, by the time they get it, doesn't do anything, right? Even though it balances back out.
It's like twice the calories and half the taste.
There you go.
Torvian from the chairman said, ruin the meal for the rest of us. Atheists speak makes my salad wilt. I hate it. I was like, I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my salad, and all of a sudden starts wilting. I was like, oh, damn, there's other atheists here.
The car is turning to, is rotting. And, yeah.
Contact us by email at ppappodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter as at Packard Pokes At. Like us on Facebook.com/Packard Pokes At. Call our Google Voice and leave a message at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and we will respond to it on the show. Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Join us live at vonlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. During the show, you can share your thoughts with us by calling 857-216-3200 using PIN number 35368 or on uberconference.com/Packard Pokes At. For links to the stories, visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com. You can help support the show by purchasing merchandise from cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At or make a donation to the show at patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. If you can't afford any money, why not share the show with your friends and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker, and on YouTube. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
Now, the thing is here, they're portraying the Christians as being the ones persecuted, and the thing is, that was the title of the video, is actually Christians being discriminated against. They have no fucking idea what that word even means anymore. They just like, oh, you said something bad about my religion, you're discriminating. No. There's people across the world who are atheists, for example, like us, who are being murdered for the simple fact of that they don't believe. I'm just going to go to a couple places here. There's a blogger. We talked about this blogger a couple shows back out in Bangladesh. He was the third one that was killed in a knife attack over there because he just didn't believe. who is doing the persecuting there? Is the atheist doing the persecuting?
Are they Christians?
No, it wasn't Christians in this case. It was Muslims in this case that killed them. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just the fact is, it's just someone's religion. It doesn't matter which religion in this case. In this case, it was the Islamic religion, and they were the ones doing the persecuting of them because they just did not believe in their imaginary friend or their prophet Muhammad, and they were speaking out against him. And that was enough to have them killed. Now,
that just tells me you don't have much faith in what you actually believe in. That you have to kill somebody who speaks out against him.
Right.
I mean, they hacked that guy to death with machetes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's sick. I mean, you have to be pretty freaking twisted.
Yeah.
You're talking about the atheist bloggers from Bangladesh?
Yes.
I had heard, I think it was Annie Laurie Gaylor talk about this recently. There was 4 atheist bloggers on their hit list, and they got the first 3 and the girlfriend of one of them.
Yeah.
But she lived. She survived. The 4th, it's a woman, right? The one that...
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a 4th one that they didn't get, and they've paid to get her brought to the United States. They gave her asylum here, so they saved her from the situation. But yeah, they had 4 atheist bloggers on their hit list. They got the first 3, and the 4th one they brought to the United States. I think it was the FFRF and the CFI.
Yeah,
put some money together and brought her over.
Yeah,
just to get her out of there.
Yeah, there was.
Well, I mean, it's just like when they had they probably still do have a price on the head of like Salman Rushdie because of his book. I mean, are you that? I mean, is your faith that bad in what you believe in that you just want to murder anyone who doesn't believe the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must know it's a fraud.
If Allah wants me dead, let him kill me, not you.
Exactly. That's what I never understand about these fucking people.
Yeah.
I mean, if God, Allah, whoever doesn't...
I'm gonna fucking tweet that.
If any of these gods really want us to believe, why don't they do something to show us that they're real?
Yeah.
Or just smite all of us. I mean, if they were real, we wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
Smite me, almighty smiter.
Yeah, I have done that with Christians. I say, hey, I did this over Twitter. I said, okay, if your God is real, he can smite me right now. I'll be generous. I'll give him 10 minutes. And I tweeted back and said, 10 minutes have passed. I'm still here. I'm still here. You're like, oh, you're still here because God gave you mercy. God's being merciful on you. I was like, no, because he's not fucking real. Not because he's fucking merciful.
Okay, it's been, what, a month? Over a month since we passed marriage equality.
Yes.
Has there been any fire, any brimstone?
I haven't seen any. I haven't even got broken a sweat. I mean, it's been a little hot here today, but it hasn't been that hot.
Well, listen, I'm in Florida. It's 500 degrees here.
Oh, is it 500 degrees? Well, take out the cookies. Just saying, you know.
But I'm still alive. It's 500 degrees, but I'm still here.
Hey, God made send down fire, but we have air conditioning. Just saying.
There you go. Thank baby Jesus for that.
There was also... What's that, Connie?
Tavarin in the chat room. Christians are just waiting for the first natural disaster to blame on gay marriage, and I'm going, yep.
Yeah.
Or a big earthquake or...
There was,
something.
This was on Right Wing Watch recently. Some pastor was talking back and forth that gay marriage and abortion are what's the cause of hurricanes and earthquakes. And I'm like, this sounds so much like that one jihadist over there who said, boobs cause the earthquake when women show their boobs. It's like, damn, then I see, I can go to a site and I can see lots of boobs. I don't see the earth quaking, just saying. Well, if I'm alone, maybe,
Come on, with all the boobs that are shown on a daily basis.
Right. If that was true, this planet would have broken up in chunks thousands of years ago. I'm just saying. we did mention about the Christians going and killing or going after atheists. There was a story here back from 2013, back in September, where an atheist was killed by a Christian. They were having an argument, and he was literally shot to death over this argument. The guy's name was Yim, and he was a Christian, and his friend, his name was Fan, Phan, and he was an atheist, and they were having an argument over it. And Yim, the Christian, shot the atheist over this. I mean, really? Christians are kind, persecution, and we have examples of Christians actively going after atheists for non-belief.
Well, I think the problem here in USA is the resistance that we get as atheists. It stems from a misunderstanding, being propagated by a lot of preachers, not every preacher, but mostly the Pentecostals, and it's not like with Islam, we're not being beheaded, but it's more of a prejudice, again, a mistrust of us, and it doesn't help when you have shows like this or movies like God's Not Dead, where Kevin Sorbo plays this straw man professor that nobody's ever had. It's a trope that apologists have used. Oh, I had this professor and he challenged me and I was able to debate him and all this stuff. They don't understand, and it's very clear in this show that the writer of it does not understand it, and he wants to present Christian persecution. The Bible is rife with things, with verses telling Christians, you're going to be hated for my sake, you're going to be persecuted.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a web page here and it says 72 Bible verses, and I'm going, that's probably not all of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's a good reason why atheists should come out and say, I'm an atheist. This is me. I'm your next door neighbor and I'm an atheist. I don't eat babies.
Yeah.
I don't. We don't. We're normal people. We're sort of normal people, and we're as normal as
I have never met a normal person yet.
Normal can be.
Yeah, I've never met a normal person yet. I just want to give a more example of this. Everybody remember it was either earlier this year or just it was earlier this year. Phil Robertson. You remember, this is the guy from Duck Dynasty. He got on to somebody's event or whatever. And he starts talking about how this little atheist family is getting killed. I'll read the quote phrases. I'll make a bet with you, Robertson said. 2 guys break into an atheist home. Okay, who are these 2 guys? First off, I'm going to stop you real quick. Does that mean that the 2 people who break in the home aren't atheists? Maybe they're Christian, maybe they're Muslim. Doesn't say. But I'm willing to bet they're Christian. Okay, because obviously they're not atheists. So he has a little.
Well, that was my whole point about that story. You're going to read the whole thing, but at the end, it's like, okay, were they Christians?
Yeah.
That did all these horrible things?
Yeah. Were they Christians that did all these horrible things, or were they? They weren't. Didn't say. Well, if they had said, if 2 atheists had broken into a home, but he didn't do it like that. He was like, oh, 2 guys break into an atheist home. Okay, all right. You're basically straw manning yourself right there. He says they break into his home, tie him up to a chair, and gag him. Then they take his 2 daughters in front of him and rape both of them and shoot them and take his wife and then decapitate her head off in front of him. Okay. He added way too much information there. Decapitate your head off. It's like saying, I want a cafe latte with milk. It's already got milk in it. Okay? You don't need to say decapitate your head off. When you say the word decapitate, we kind of got the idea.
I see he meant decaffeinate. He was talking about lattes.
Okay.
There you go.
You got to decaffeinate the latte. Yeah, okay. Then they look at him and say, isn't this great? We don't have to worry about being judged. Isn't that great? There's nothing wrong with this. There ain't no right, no wrong. Now is it, dude? All right, I'm just going to stop there because the rest of it just going to make me vomit otherwise. And I don't want, that would just not be good for editing. He doesn't understand how morals work, obviously. I mean, just because we don't believe in a God doesn't mean we don't believe in right things that are right and things that are wrong. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's never going to make it through his thick skull.
Yeah.
That particular incident happened right here where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find out about it until like 2 days later.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off. I really wish that I had known about it because it was at a place where it was public that anybody could have gone to.
Mm.
And I would have enjoyed going to that. And I think everybody else there would have enjoyed me going to that too.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that would have been a question. I mean, I would have seriously raised my hand and asked him the question. Okay, so you made this big old deal about the atheist husband and the atheist daughters and the atheist mother, the atheist wife, whatever. So does that mean that the murderers, rapists, pedophiles that broke into that house, they're Christians, right? I mean, that would have been my question for him.
That would have been a good question.
And it would probably shut him up, but I mean,
he probably would have came back and go, oh no, they're other atheists.
Oh yeah, they're other atheists.
Why would they do that then?
Oh no, they were Muslims.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one with the imagination making that crap up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is that what you sit around the bayou thinking about all the time?
Yeah.
How atheists get their homes broken into and the families get murdered like that? That's what you think about?
Yeah, that just tells me there's a little bit of a disturbed mind behind somebody that thinks about stuff like that.
He's into murder porn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's called snuff porn, basically.
Yeah.
Ugh. This is from the Raw story. If you're living in a small town in Texas, if you ask the cops there, it could be an atheist get you killed, and they said in the town of Petrola, the answer would pretty most likely be yes. Officials in Clay County, Texas, revealed that the human remains recovered near the Oklahoma border were to those of Specialist Jose Ramirez, a California native who went missing from Fort Stills, Oklahoma, more than 7 years prior. A former friend of his was charged with the murder. Apparently, he was also an atheist as well, and it turns out that he was killed for the fact is that he was just an atheist. This is more people who are being killed just because of the fact that they're an atheist in the United States. These kind of stories don't get enough press. And the thing is, this will not be charged as a hate crime, from what I understand, for the simple fact is that this is on the books there because it doesn't happen multiple times. If this guy had gone out and shot multiple people that were atheists, like he went to a Freedom for Religion Foundation event or whatever and did this, then they could charge him with a hate crime. Maybe.
Well, maybe that's a good thing that we're harder to herd than cats. Because we're not all gathered together.
You can't get us all. Some of us will survive.
We're atheists in foxholes, and you have to go look for us.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find us. Yeah.
There's way more atheists in foxholes than they think.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I'm in a foxhole, I don't want someone praying for us to get out. I want somebody, fucking do something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
about 3 or 4 years ago, when I thought I had my heart attack, I was in the ambulance. And I'm going, oh man, what if this is it? And I just thought about whether I told everybody I loved them, but I wasn't even tempted to pray, not at all. So no, that was foxhole for me.
Oh, that's powerful, Connie.
Yeah, a number of years back when there was a dispute with the cross that came out, the cross beam that came out of 9/11. Everybody, you remember this? And
oh boy,
yeah, remember that one?
There was a beam shaped like a T.
Yeah, imagine that. I know, right? What are the chances?
Oh,
what are the chances?
He's coming back.
I know a cross beam.
What are the chances that there is going to be a beam shaped like a T in a building?
I know, right? They must have looked through it, saw hundreds of them and go, oh wait a minute, that one is special. No, there
was tons of them.
Yeah, there was.
There was tons and tons of them.
Yeah.
They've sent them out to people all over the place. There's 9/11 memorials all over that are shaped like crosses because the building was made of steel crosses.
Yes.
Oh,
Ta-da.
Oh, wait a minute. The building was made of crosses and it still collapsed?
Maybe maybe that's what was wrong.
Where was God then?
Right.
I've mentioned it on the show before. I happen to know a lot about this. I've actually touched the 9/11 cross.
And you didn't melt, Joe? You still came back with all your fingers and toes, right?
It used to be on display in the courtyard of a church across the street from the World Trade Center site, which is an appropriate place for it. If they felt it was special, if they liked it, if they thought it was cool, great. Put it in the church courtyard and leave it there.
That's fine.
But no, they had to drag it across the street, put it into a publicly funded museum, causing the New York City Atheists to sue them, like, hey, why are you putting this in a publicly funded museum? You could have left it in the church courtyard. And they're like, oh, you're persecuting us. No, you're using public funds to display a religious relic now.
Right. Now there was some.
But then they can claim it's not a religious relic. Now it's just a beam shaped like a.
It's too late for that. They already welded a plate on it that says that it's like they had like a monk come down and bless it, and they welded a plate onto it that describes how it is a religious relic. Like it is now officially, according to their fairy tale, a religious relic. Which meant it should have stayed in the church courtyard right across the street. Anybody who went to the 9/11 Memorial Museum could then leave the museum, walk across the street, and for free touch it just like I did when it was on display there.
Yep.
But no, they had to put it in the museum with public money.
Well, this is how fucked up they are.
Yeah.
Now they think it's a miracle that this T-beam, a metal beam shaped like a T, survived this incident. It's a miracle, but how many people got fucking killed that day?
Yeah, those are miracles. Exactly. Yeah, they don't. If somebody who had been standing on the very
God
top,
was too busy saving a beam.
Yes, he saved the beam.
Like to save 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay, I have it right here. They created a piece. They took a piece of steel and they welded these words onto the 9/11 cross. It says, "The cross at Ground Zero, founded, September 13th, 2001, blessed October 4th, 2001, temporarily relocated October 5th, 2006, will return to the World Trade Center Museum, a sign of comfort for all," in all caps, all. So a cross, a Christian cross now that's been blessed by a monk, is now a symbol of comfort for Jews, Muslims, Hindus, atheists. I look at that thing, I'm like, wow, I feel so comforted. And we're persecuting them.
But how insulting is that to Jews and Muslims?
Right. Yeah, because they don't believe in Jesus, and they don't believe in the cross. They don't believe in their torture device.
Jesus, they just don't think he's a Messiah.
Yeah. There was also
Jews don't think he's anything at all.
Right. The reason why I bring this up also because of this was on the Facebook page. The Christians were basically attacking the Freedom from Religion Foundation because they were taking this cause up, as Joe is saying there, to say, hey, this is being taken with public funds. And this is some quotes from the Facebook page. "I say kill them all and let them see for themselves that there is a God. Shoot them. Shoot to kill. To all the atheists, die and go to hell, haha. If I could, I'd shoot all of you in the head with a 12 gauge. But we're persecuting them. I don't get on to Facebook and say, I don't like what you say. I'm going to shoot you in the head with a 12 gauge. Never.
What would be really funny is to shoot them in the head with a 12 gauge, so they would be surprised.
Yeah, they would really be surprised. Another one here says, nail them to that cross, then display it.
Do it, yes. Then we would be Jesus.
Yeah.
Then we would be the new savior.
There's another one here. He says, they're atheists, so it don't matter if you kill them. And then another person replied back to him and says, someone show me where they live, and they will live no mere. They didn't say more. They mere, M-E-R-E, no mere.
I love that. I love it when they try to be smart ass and they can't even fucking spell a simple word.
I know, right? Another one here says, I thinly, that's what he says, I thinly we should hang the leader of that group on the cross with nails through their hands and feet, place a crown of thorns upon their head, ram, big cap letters, ram, a spear through their side after being whipped and beaten publicly. just so they can endure what Christ did, so they understand the sacrifice behind what that cross symbolizes.
The
Torture.
fact that person would
It
wish that on
symbolizes a
somebody
big
else
tall
proves that
building.
he doesn't understand what that's supposed to be in the first place.
Right.
He doesn't understand that. No, that's just
Robin, what were you saying there? I apologize. What was that?
All that thing symbolizes is a building that was collapsed. I mean, it doesn't symbolize anything. It's a piece of metal, for crying out loud. And like y'all said, there's probably hundreds of those.
Oh yeah,
in
there is.
Two buildings.
I have pictures of them.
Yeah,
hundreds.
Yeah, and if God is real, then why didn't you stop the planes?
Hundreds in the apartment complex I live in.
There was also another one from this lovely lady. It looks like she looks fairly, if you saw the picture that I'm looking at, she says, "Stupid atheists! I hope God kills them all." Oh, I'm still here, bitch. I'm just saying. And then she goes, "I love Jesus and the cross, and if you don't, I hope someone rapes you."
I think I've read that on Funny Fucktardery Friday before.
Yeah, I think you have too.
I hope someone rapes you.
Yeah.
How sweet.
I know, isn't that sweet? There's another one here. Any court or lawyer who takes this case should be hung, because
Right.
What case?
This is we were talking about the case about the lawyers, the suing them not to put it in the public museum there.
Or the 9/11 cross?
Yeah, the 9/11 cross, right.
I actually met the guy who's the plaintiff on that.
Really?
Yeah. He's the president of the New York City Atheists. I've met him a few times. He's a nice guy.
Cool. Well, apparently this lady here, she says any court or lawyer who takes this case should be hung, because they don't want anybody to have equal rights.
Yeah.
It says if you took some of the people who are atheists, they are all miserable looking because they don't have any faith in anything. You should all go live in another country. You have taken enough away of my rights. What? What rights have you taken away?
Miserable.
What rights have you? I know it's like you should be hung if you want to defend this case, but you're taking away my rights. What? How? You basically this woman wanted to take away their right to defend themselves or to bring a lawsuit, but we're taking away her rights. I don't understand these people. I really do not understand these people. These people is the ones that are going around saying that they're the ones being persecuted, and these are the ones that are doing this.
These people don't understand what rights are, though.
Yeah, they don't understand what rights are.
As given to you by the Constitution.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they don't even understand what the Bible says. So
I'm reminded of that cartoon where the Christian is holding the cross and he's beating the other guy over the head with it.
Oh yeah. I have that one.
And the guy grabs it from him and goes to snap it over his knee. And he's like, "Yo, stop oppressing me."
Yeah. Yeah. We got some comments from the chat room from Dawkins Dog. I bet if Facebook saw these comments, they'd say they didn't violate the community of standards. Yeah, they'd say, yeah, go right ahead. You just put them right
So
out.
much shit gets said on Facebook, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And another one here from Torvian. He says, I've heard that Christian love hung men. Well, if they're wearing white and a hat, a hoodie that's all pointy, that's...
Or if they're under the age of 7.
Yeah. Or yeah.
They are a Christian group.
Yes, they are. Yes.
They're not a hate group. They're a Christian group.
Yes. Dog also has another one. I should market the First Amendment toilet paper for American market so Christians can literally wipe their arses on it. Yeah, I would say disseminate that one out to the Christians that, like Brian Fucktard Fisher, who wipes his ass on the Constitution every fucking chance he gets. Ugh.
That guy is such an asshole.
Yes.
And I've got no other words for him, but he's a fucking asshole.
I know. I every time I turn around, I see this guy. I just want to go.
Does he still? I was thinking about him just the other day. Does he still hold a public office? Was he like a state congressman?
You're thinking of Gordon Klingon shit.
Oh, Klingerschmidt. That's right.
Yeah.
Does he still hold a public office?
Yes.
Elected.
Yeah, he just got elected. Apparently, and Robin was doing on her show today that he was singing in Congress, and people are laughing at him. And he's like...
Is he in Congress in D.C. or is he in Congress in Colorado?
Colorado, I think.
Colorado.
Yeah. And
he's a Colorado Congress. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is,
I was going to say, like, they legalized pot, and then they voted for that guy. It's like, all right, we need to not legalize pot.
And they thought, oh, that's a funny name. Klingon shit. I'm voting for him.
Hey, man, who'd you vote for? I voted for Klingon shit.
I was on a Dorito run, and
I think he was high when he started breaking into song. I mean, my gosh, I saw that clip on Robin's show there. I'm like, this guy is using up our tax dollars to be a lounge lizard. I mean, if you wanted to be a lounge lizard, go to another venue. My tax dollars don't want to pay for that shit.
And then he took a Beatles song.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is blasphemy.
Yeah.
That is blasphemy.
Yeah, I would actually say something to him about that over saying something to people praying in a restaurant, because that's just offensive.
Oh,
yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely, because that is a public, that is our tax dollars pay for that. My tax dollars don't go to pay for Perkins, or whatever restaurant you want to be at.
And it's the Beatles, most importantly.
Right.
Well, that's what. Yeah, exactly. Somebody posted something on YouTube. They were covering a Mrs. Robertson, the Simon and Garfunkel song, and they titled the video "Mrs. Robertson, the Beatles." So everybody jumped on him and was like, "Dude, you can't cover a song and you don't even know who did it originally." Oh my God.
I'm smart enough to play a musical instrument, but I don't know who wrote the song.
Right.
Exactly. I'm like, this person should never, ever be allowed to listen to nor play music ever again in his life.
Okay, that's a brilliant idea for a new YouTube channel. This is California Dreamin' by Biggie.
I was really hoping that somebody would have called in on our Uber conference, but that's okay. We're almost out of time. Robin, before we get out of here, where can they find your channel at?
Just Robin Dupree Reed. Type it in. I'm there.
There you go. And you've also been doing you're doing like Bible readings, and you're doing your Fundy Fucktardy Friday, and you've got so many great videos out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I haven't caught the. I'm waiting for it to get done with reading the Bible. Then I'm going to sit there and watch them all at one time. Because I hate waiting.
I'm going to be very old when I'm done.
I hate waiting. I was like, I don't want to get all caught up. It's like, what's coming next? What's coming next?
Well, I'm almost done with Numbers. The last chapter will be next Wednesday. Numbers will be the last chapter. And then we move on to Deuteronomy.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait.
Have lots of tissue ready. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I know. And then, of course, Monday nights I do hangouts now, pretty much almost every Monday night.
Yeah, you're doing a hangout now. Because we were setting this up, and it's like, where's the hangout? It's like, oh, wait a minute. This is not the hangout.
It's a little different.
It's a little different, yes. But that's fine. Hey, and we got a late start on this anyway, so it doesn't really matter anyhow. So
I'm hardly getting the hang of the hangouts. I mean, it's so simple, yet I just every week I fuck up. So.
Hey, we're rubbing off on you, Robin. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, that's the problem. See, I learned a little bit from you.
It's a bad influence.
I am such a bad influence on everybody. You should say that. I say Packard fucks up way better than I can. Just say.
That's the truth. Last week I had to start a new one. I did so poorly I couldn't invite people, and I just had to turn it off and start a whole new one.
Hey, that's okay. It happens. We've had to redo this show a few times ourselves. So hey,
yeah. So. I pray really hard every week that Packard fucks up.
Prayer does work. Oh my!
Torvian from the chat room says Packard is a bad influence. Take another shot. Yes, I am.
That should be a Jaeger bomb or something.
Yeah, there should be a Jaeger bomb called the Packard Sonic.
That's actually a pretty good name for a drink.
It is. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank Robin one more time for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week with our longer show. I forget whatever way it is. Oh, actually, next week will be a special because of my work schedule. We're actually going to have the show on Wednesday. So we'll be here at 9 p.m. on Wednesday night this week instead of our regular Friday night. So we're doing this kind of out of cycle because of the fact is my job is weird. That's all. I do apologize. But we will be back next week, 9 p.m. on Wednesday. So join us then, and we'll see you then. This has been Packard Pokes At, and we just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.